Tira Yamunira Jaya Radha Radha Punjabi Jaya Radha Radha Punjabi Punjabi Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada ki jai, Ganharam Shimra Bhagavatam ki jai, Om Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. All glories to Sambo devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sambo devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Sambo devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna. I need to apologize at the very beginning for all these devotees who were waiting for Hari Chakra Prabhu. I know that all of you, including myself, are devotees of Hari Chakra Prabhu. We love his lectures. Unfortunately, he is not capable to give class today, so therefore I also requested to do this instead of him. Please forgive all these arrangements. But with your blessings, I will try my best to deliver the message of Srimad Bhagavatam that we can benefit all together. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 17, text number 15, correct? Okay. Mhm. Atapapia simyonim, atapapia simyonim, asurim yahidurmate, asurim yahidurmate, yadheha bhuyo mahatam, yadheha bhuyo mahatam, nakarta putra kilbisham, nakarta putra kilbisham, atapapiya simyonim, asurim yahidurmate, yadheha bhuyo mahatam, nakarta putra kilbisham. Atapapiya simyonim, asurim yahidurmate, yadheha bhuyo mahatam, nakarta putra kilbisham. Somebody else? Featuring?
Atapapiyasam yodim asurim yahidormate yateha bhuyo mahatam
We have this
narkarta putra
volume.
kilbisham.
Yes, because last time we didn't.
Atapapiyashim yonim asuram yahidurmata yateha bhuyo mahatim nakarta putra kilbisham.
Thank you. Ata, therefore, papiyasim, most sinful, yonim, to the species of life, asurim, demoniac, yahi, go, durmate, O impudent one, yadha, so that, iha, in this world, bhuya, again, mahatam, to great personalities, na, not, karta, will commit, putra, my dear son, kilbisham, any offense. Translation. O impudent one, my dear son, now take birth in a low, sinful family of demons so that you will not commit such an offense again toward exalted, saintly persons in this world. Mother Durga is very rigid. Purport. One should be very careful not to commit offenses at the lotus feet of Vaishnavas, of whom Lord Shiva is the best. While instructing Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described an offense at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava as Hati Mata, a mad elephant. When a mad elephant enters a nice garden, it spoils the entire garden. Similarly, if one becomes like a mad elephant and commits offenses at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, his entire spiritual career is halted. One should therefore be very careful not to commit offenses at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava. Mother Parvati was justified in punishing Chitraketu, for Chitraketu impudently criticized the Supreme Father Mahadev, who is the father of the living entities conditioned within this material world. The goddess Durga is called Mother, and Lord Shiva is called Father. A pure Vaishnava should be very careful to engage in his specific duty without criticizing others. This is the safest position. This is the safest position. Otherwise, if one tends to criticize others, he may commit the great offense of criticizing a Vaishnava. Because Chitraketu was undoubtedly a Vaishnava, he might have been surprised that Parvati had cursed him. Therefore, the goddess Parvati addressed him as Putra, or son. Everyone is the son of Mother Durga, but she is not an ordinary mother. As soon as there is a small discrepancy in a demon's behavior, Mother Durga immediately punishes the demon so that he may come to his senses. This is explained by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 7:14. Devi Shagunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya Mamevaya Prapadyante Mayamatam Tarantite. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. To surrender to Krishna means to surrender to his devotees also. For no one can be a proper servant of Krishna unless he's a proper servant of a devotee. Once again, to surrender to Krishna means to surrender to his devotees also. For no one can be proper servant of Krishna unless he is a proper servant of a devotee. Without serving a servant of Krishna, one cannot be elevated to being a servant of Krishna himself. Without serving a servant of Krishna, one cannot be elevated to being a servant of Krishna himself. Therefore, Mother Parvati spoke to Chitraketu exactly like a mother who says to her naughty child, "My dear child, I am punishing you so that you won't do anything like this again." This tendency of mother to punish her child is found even in Mother Yashoda, who became the mother of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mother Yashoda punished Krishna by binding him and showing him a stick. Thus, it is the duty of a mother to chastise her beloved son, even in the case of the Supreme Lord. It is so to be understood that Mother Durga was justified in punishing Chitraketu. This punishment was a boon to Chitraketu, because after taking birth as the demon Vritrasura, he was promoted directly to Vaikuntha. Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Ata papiya simyonim asurim yahim taur mate yathe harboya mahatam nakarata putrakil bisham. Translation. Oh, impudent one, my dear son, Now take birth in low, sinful family of demons, so that you will not commit such an offense again toward exalted saintly persons in this world. Om Agyanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurlintamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Wow, this is such a beautiful message for us today. If we will realize this message that we got today from Srimad Bhagavatam, we will become pure devotee of the Lord. No doubt whatsoever. Like yesterday, I just see that is very also extremely important verse was yesterday, talking about humility, the most important quality in Vaishnava behavior. If somebody want to make spiritual career, making spiritual progress in purifying consciousness to awaken our dormant love of Krishna and become eligible to come back to Krishna to continue our service, humility is necessary. Without humility, there is no question to be servant of those who serve Krishna. No way. So therefore, we need to somehow or another accept in humble way or enthusiastically education that we are receiving in Krishna consciousness, in this Krishna conscious movement. So Krishna arranged for all of us, conditioned souls of this material existence, such wonderful process called Bhakti Yoga. We are all trying, as a Bhakti practitioners, we are trying to develop Bhakti, love and devotion to God, to the Supreme Lord, to the Supreme Father. But this is possible only when we open our heart with humility to receive the message of God, who is giving us this message through his servants, through his devotees. Without his devotees, we will be not able to see God and God's mercy. But because God is very merciful, very compassionate, and loving and caring, so therefore he is arranging for conditioned souls of this material world that they were able to meet devotee of Krishna, his servant. As we hear many times that nothing happened by accident. Yes, indeed. Krishna is arranging everything in such a way that if conditioned souls is ready due to different circumstances, is ready somehow or another to open his heart in humility to hear the message of God. So Krishna is sending the devotee to deliver the message and elevate this conditioned soul to higher level of understanding who he is, who God is, what is their relationship, and what should be done in this relationship. So we all in this Hare Krishna movement, we receive Krishna's mercy through his devotees, somehow or another. I love to ask many devotees, I love to ask devotees about their story, how Krishna arranged for them, that they were arranged for them to receive his mercy. What arrangements were done by Krishna that they were able to join Hare Krishna movement? And all the time, in every case, all the stories are so sweet. So sweet. And almost in every case, the fact that Krishna sent devotee of his to the conditioned soul, and through the devotee of Krishna, the conditioned soul received Krishna's mercy. And when I'm listening to these stories, I'm full of appreciation for Krishna, how loving and caring, and also how clever he is, that in using some circumstances and inclination of the person, or circumstances that the person is going through, to attract the attention of this conditioned soul, to bring him to his lotus feet. So therefore, taking this under consideration, the devotees of Krishna's are Krishna's puppets, Krishna's servants, Krishna's friends, Krishna's devotees. They are most dear to him. We need to be very cautious how we deal with devotees. It doesn't mean that we need to care and be very cautious towards, Guru Maharaj and very exalted other great personalities who play a role of gurus. And only those are Vaishnavas, and we need to be very careful and to not become familiar toward them. No. Every bhakti practitioner is trying to become a devotee of Krishna. He is devotee of Krishna. And Krishna, to a certain extent, is taking care of these devotees. There is already between practitioner of bhakti and Krishna some loving exchanges. And Krishna reciprocates accordingly. So how we can know what level of particular devotees are in or on? So we are not qualified yet to see this. So therefore, we need to be very careful and cautious on the front of every devotee. We need to respect all living entities. What to speak about those who are trying to surrender to Krishna's lotus feet. So especially, we need to be very careful toward every devotee, because we never know what this devotee can do for Krishna and how much Krishna can bless this devotee. And if it happened that we would offend this devotee or insult somehow or another, or neglect, be impudent, then, like we hear from this text, our spiritual career can be interrupted. Unfortunately, because I am in this Hare Krishna movement by Krishna's mercy and Vaishnava's blessings for long enough to see all different things. And unfortunately, I was witnessing also how some devotees who were quite capable to become pure devotee of the Lord, somehow or another, they dropped the ball. They fall down. And was surprised for everyone. My goodness, what happened? Yeah, we need to be very careful. Very careful. Like my Guru Maharaj used to say, if we are in bhakti process and we swim in the ocean of material existence, like submarine. So submarine are under the surface of the water down there, and they have this telescope that is above the water and then see around everything. So there is similar situation in our life. We are merged in this ocean of material existence, and we have telescope in the form of this transcendental knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam, Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu. So we see everything in transcendental way above of this waters of material existence. So, and we observing the situation just to be safe. But what happened when we somehow or another, due to bewilderment, neglectfulness, um, uh, some other unfortunate negative activities or behavior that is influenced by force like illusory forces of Maya, we are convinced that if we will go a little bit deeper in the water, then everything will be okay, no problem at all. So then we just doing this maneuver to just go a little bit deeper into water, and still our telescope is, above the surface of the water. We see everything around is okay. And then Maya, it's okay to go a little bit deeper. You will see much more things and some exciting, exotic panorama. Don't worry. You are able to see. You are still on the surface. Don't worry. Go deeper. So we are in this material world, doing different things, having some duties, responsibilities, and we are surrounded by material existence. And what we see around, everybody is very casual, mundane. Hey, what's up, guys? Let's go to some party, or even not necessary to go to party to see some abominable scenes, how people act and behave, like Srila Prabhupada used to characterize like dogs and cats in human form. But you can see all around, even on the street, people that are just embracing each other, kissing each other, all these things. This is a very low culture, very low culture. To show your affections to to your partner is it's private thing. It's private thing. You don't exhibit, outside, making a show of your lusty affairs. Chitraketu was in this understanding that, my goodness, this is Lord Shiva. He is the father of all living entities conditioned in this material world. And on the front of him, they are saintly persons. How is it that he's in such situation with his wife sitting on his laps and he's embracing her? Wow, what is this? He shouldn't do this. He's such a exalted Vaishnava. He shouldn't do this. Otherwise, all ordinary people will do the same. How he dare to do this? Excuse me? And who are you, Chitraketu? Chitraketu is also Vaishnava, as we hear. He was blessed by Krishna himself. He was blessed by pure Vaishnava Narada Muni. And by performing and following his instruction, performing devotional service, he was blessed by Krishna himself after 6 days. Wow! So he was blessed. He has darshan of the Supreme Lord face to face. So naturally, he is Vaishnava. So what is the big problem for him to express his, opinion about the situation that he was witnessing? Maybe from ordinary point of view, it's not big deal, no problem. Lord Shiva himself, he didn't make a big balloon of the situation of Chitraketu, reprimand or opinion or criticism. He just, slightly smiled. And also all saintly persons, since they understand how exalted Lord Shiva is, it was fine for them, but not for Chitraketu. And especially not for Mother Parvati. As we hear, she cursed him. How you dare! You think that you are great Vaishnava? You was blessed by Krishna. You saw Krishna himself. You should act and behave in proper way, not criticize the most exalted Vaishnava, Lord Shiva. You become a demon due to this offense. Yeah, but because indeed Stragatu was Vaishnava, he was not arguing with Mother Parvati. He accepted in a humble way, understanding that, well, okay, this is what Krishna wants, so then I'm humbly accepting this curse. Yeah, yeah, familiarity brings content. So I, I dropped and I slept and made mistake. I'm so sorry. So in our, this is like, a high level of dealings between great personalities. But coming back to earth, we deal with other Vaishnavas, we deal with other devotees, and we don't know how dear they are to Krishna's lotus heart. We don't know. So therefore, we need to address every Vaishnava, Prabhu, Master. Of course, if we are not humble, we will not call them, Prabhu. Why? Why should we call him Prabhu? I am better than him. I am master for him. So therefore, I will not call him Prabhu. But Srila Prabhupada, representative of Krishna, told us that in proper dealings between devotees, we should address devotees as Prabhus and ladies as a Mataji. This is Vedic culture. And you see every woman except your wife as a mother, Mataji. So if we will follow Krishna's culture, Vaishnava culture, so then there will be no problem. We'll be very careful, we'll be very respectful, polite, very sweet in our action and behavior for Krishna's satisfaction. And for sure, Krishna can be pleased. And naturally, can bless us that we can become qualified and eligible to come back to Krishna. But if we will concoct our own culture and interpret everything and act and behave in our own way, well, then we will get reactions. You get what you deserve for. So, therefore, this message, Srimad Bhagavatam, is informing us we should be very, very careful in our dealings with devotees. Because, like Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, a pure Vaishnava should be very careful. Srila Prabhupada not mention just any type of adept of bhakti should be very careful. No. Srila Prabhupada mentioned a pure Vaishnava. Wow, even pure Vaishnava? Yes, indeed. A pure Vaishnava should be very careful to engage in his specific duty without criticizing others. Without criticizing, a pure Vaishnava should be very careful to engage in his specific duty without criticizing others. If he's a pure Vaishnava, so then no problem for him. He's already pure. Well, this is symptomatic for pure Vaishnava, as we hear from Nectar of Instruction, that this person, due to his purity, his love of Krishna, he sees all living entities as part and parcels of Krishna and see devotees of Krishna as very dear objects of Krishna's lotus heart. So therefore, he has no tendency whatsoever to criticize them. This is the safest position, Srila Prabhupada mentioned. In conclusion, this is the safest position Otherwise, if one tends to criticize others, he may commit the great offense of criticizing a Vaishnava, Patimata, mad elephant. And Srila Prabhupada described what happened when mad elephant can enter the nice garden. It spoils the entire garden. So, like Chitraketu, he cultivated the mantra that received from Narada Muni. He was able to see Narada Muni himself. Whoa! So, and he was able to receive directly from Narada Muni, the topmost sage of the sages, mantra, and he dedicated himself to chant this mantra with full attention and affection and receive audience of the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. He received also instruction directly from Krishna himself. How blessed he was, how fortunate he was, amazing. But despite of all these blessings and all these spiritual benefits, all this exalted position that he received by performing devotional service, he dropped the ball. Like Srila Prabhupada mentioned, I give you a ticket. This is your business to carry on. Otherwise, if you drop this, it's your mistake. So he unfortunately became impudent towards the more exalted Vaishnav than him, to Lord Shiva, and he said things that he shouldn't. And he laughed on the situation. So he didn't even express verbally. He just, on the beginning, he laughed of the situation, which already disturbed Mother Parvati. So some behavior can also be insulting. Oh my goodness. So then we need to be like almost like paralyzed person to what to do, how to act, how to behave. It's not necessary to be paralyzed. We need to just only be aware that human form of life bear big responsibility. We are not animals anymore. We received by Krishna's grace human form of life. And human form of life by nature means responsibility. This English word responsibility consists of two words, response, ability. What ability we have to respond to different situations that happen in our life depends on knowledge that we have. Knowledge is key to success. So we are fortunate souls that we somehow or another receive Krishna's mercy through his devotees to receive education and bhakti. The topmost activities available for human being. Because we by receiving education about bhakti, we are earning ticket back to Godhead. It's not cheap thing. It's not easy. So therefore, we need to be very, very responsible for our action and behavior. This text, this message today is informing about this. Education is there. So therefore, then every educator has a right to make a test, some examination, just to make sure that the student is learning everything properly. Isn't it? If he's not learning properly, so then on the basis of this test, teacher is able to correct and explain more for the benefit of the student. So all these different arrangements are made for us, for our own benefit, just to be more responsible and in our activities and behavior, and improve ourselves to the standards that Krishna is expecting from us. And this is our business to surrender to Krishna, to the standards that Krishna is expecting from us, because Krishna wants us back to Godhead. But if we don't want, well, there's a different story. So then naturally we will keep our own culture, our own desires, our own activities, our own things, which will keep us in this material existence, life after life. This is what we want. If we don't want this, so we need to somehow or another utilize everything what Krishna is supplying us to learn this art of become responsible for our action and behavior. And learn the art of Vaishnava culture, Krishna's culture that he is teaching us. And in this way, we can elevate ourselves to higher and higher level of Krishna consciousness, which make us eligible to come back to Krishna after this lifetime, and then never again birth, disease, old age, and death. Never again. So we are actually in the process of earning this ticket back to Krishna. So this is very serious business. Like, everyone knows that together with my wife, we are in the natural healing business. If you want to know something about Krishna's created remedies, you know whom to approach. And we are not very frivolous or whimsical, whatever, No, this is business. This is serious business. And how you educate others, how you present, depends, how, your success. If you will, you will meet potential customers, some prospects, and you will be, like very unprofessional, like amateur, like some type of, like eccentric, and people will not take you very serious. This means that you will not earn money. Your business just will slack. So if you want to be a successful businessman, you need to be professional. You need to be very serious. So our all business is bhakti yoga. We need to become professional. Means, we need to act and behave, in proper way, proper manner, in fitting Krishna standards, because we are earning ticket back to Krishna. We need to be aware. Like Satchinanda Maharaj mentioned yesterday in New Vrindavan. I'm just coming back from this Holy Name Emerge, festival. It was so sweet to see how devotees behave and acting, and how much they are absorbed with making spiritual progress, how to elevate their spiritual practices to higher level. They were so eager. My goodness, it was so sweet to observe this. Sachinanda Maharaj mentioned, if you understand what you're striving for, what is the goal, then means that helping you to achieve this goal will be very important. If you understand that you are striving to develop love of Krishna, then sadhana bhakti will be very important for you, because this is the way how you can achieve love of God. But if you don't understand what is the purpose, ultimate goal of your activities, then you don't pay attention, to sadhana bhakti. What is big deal, You don't understand necessity of following sadhana bhakti, which is the pathway to prema bhakti. Unless you think that, well, I am already on prema bhakti. What is big deal? Okay, let's see what you will achieve in a few weeks, in a few months, maybe a few years, maybe a few decades. Chitraketu achieve, perfection, we can say, after 6 days. He saw Krishna face to face. He hear from Krishna directly. But, as we hear here, out of some unattentiveness, he forgot his position and became impudent toward the Vaishnava who was on the higher position. We should always remember that we should be, like yesterday it was mentioned, we should be always humble, more humble than the strong in the street. And we should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. As Lord Chaitanya clearly, Krishna himself, the supreme loving caring father, told us, be careful. Rinatapin sunichana, taror apisa vishnuna, amanina amanatena, kirtanya sadahari. Once again, translation. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others. Are we ready? Are we ready to do this? If not, do not worry. Krishna loves us and cares for us, and He will arrange for us, even today, a situation that we will be facing some type of challenges, and then there will be like little tests. Did we learn? Krishna arranged the situation, then He's talking through Srimad Bhagavatam to us, giving us education. We have some transcendental discussion on this matter, and Krishna will be curious, what did we learn? So then for sure, he will arrange situation for us, and then show us where we are, on what level we are. Are we able to be indeed humbled, more humble than the straw on the street, and more tolerant than the tree, or not? If not, we need to do something in our life. We are responsible for our life, nobody else. Others are just meant to help us, inspire us. So our business is to receive this message, or we receive Krishna's mercy given through others. And just apply this in our life. To know is not enough. We need to apply it and follow it. So then we can make spiritual progress and become qualified, come back to Krishna. Hare Krishna. Are there any questions or comments? Yes, Delhi.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very sweet class, as per usual.
Thank you for your sweet words of encouragement.
I'm asking this question on behalf of Mother Famila, dressing the deities very beautifully along with Parijata for us to take darshan. Her question was, if we find ourselves misunderstood by another devotee and another devotee is correcting us, but there's some misunderstanding, should we just tolerate and take their correction, or should we try to explain where there might be a misunderstanding on anyone's part?
So it seems there's some miscommunication, misunderstanding, and the devotee who actually we perceiving the devotee is like misunderstand us and is correcting us. So should we accept this correction despite of this misunderstanding, or should we try to reactivate the situation? Well, if this devotee is externally consider as a more respectful devotee than we are, because nothing can be by accident. That Krishna put particular devotee on the position that he is not just oops, happen. No, this is Krishna's arrangement. So therefore, we need to respect this and ask humble question. May I ask you a humble question to understand better the situation? I think that devotee will say yes. What is your question? So then you can ask, uh, I'm not sure if I understand properly. You mentioned this and this and this, just to try to clarify. If clarification will not work, so then maybe we should approach another devotee, which is also externally considered as a more advanced than us. So and ask in a humble way, can you help me please understand the situation that I am in now? And could you please help me, if it is possible, to solve the problem? Sure, the devotees are very kind by nature. So then in this way, maybe this devotee maybe can understand better the situation and maybe bring another light on the situation. And also, if the situation, it seems that, yeah, maybe we should approach together to this devotee for him better understand the situation. So then arrangement can be done. So there is always some way to solve. Yeah. And then it will be easier to, let's say, tolerate, but without understanding, proper understanding, it's very difficult to tolerate, or even without special arrangements to tolerate, we can solve situation for our own benefit, and also better understanding one another devotee. Yes, this is very important, how to deal with other devotees, how to approach, how to open mind and confidence, how to ask confidential questions. Because yeah, if we do something wrong, as we know, there's action and there's reaction. This is how Krishna set up everything in this material world, just for our own benefit, just to learn the lesson. So even in material world, even materialists, they know, and there's on every action there's equal and opposite reaction. So this is actually very beneficial for us. We shouldn't claim that, oh, why Krishna did this? Well, Krishna did this for our own benefit, that we can learn something beneficial. So in the situation between devotees, there's always a solution, but we need to know how to approach this particular devotee. If not to this devotee, then to another devotee. Open our mind in confidence. Ask confidential question. Then difficult situation can be solved. This is how I understand.
Yes. My question is, if we find ourselves in similar situation with Chitraketu, then we see senior devotee not acting according to what we learned the standard is, the common norms of behavior. What should be our internal actions and external action, if any?
Like Sachinanda Maharaj mentioned that we need, quoting Lord Chaitanya, that we should wear this Trinada Pisunichana Tarasa Krishna verse on our neck to always remind us who actually we are, what is our position. We should be more humble than the strong in the street and more tolerant than the tree. Sometimes we see that, especially youngsters, they come to the tree and take some knife and do some cards or something. They write your curve. So and despite of this harmful activity, tree is tolerant. when the straw on the street is lying down, so everybody can walk through it. Cows can come and do some, powdung on it. Still, straw is not protesting. So we see that Vaishnava behavior, Vaishnava culture is extremely very high. But we are adepts of bhakti. We need to strive for this, our best. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Shri Radha Damodar ki jai.